October's first blood in the National League Division Series comes from American Family Field, where the Chicago Cubs and Milwaukee Brewers collide in a matchup that feels as much about pride as it is about survival. Just 90 miles apart, their fan bases have lived this rivalry for years, but never under October lights. With Cubs fans invading Milwaukee and Brewers fans eager to defend home turf, the atmosphere will feel less like a home field advantage and more like a playoff battleground. Game 1 carries the weight of the series, and both managers know a fast start could tip the balance. On the mound, Milwaukee calls on Freddie Peralta, their unquestioned ace. He dominated in 2025 with a 17-6 record, a 2.70 ERA, and 204 strikeouts. His fastball lives at 95 miles per hour, and he pairs it with a biting slider and a deceptive changeup. At home, he was nearly untouchable, and against the Cubs he has a track record of consistency, holding their bats in check time after time. His presence gives Milwaukee a massive edge to open the series. The Cubs counter with veteran lefty Matthew Boyd. He was steady all season, going 14-8 with a 3.21 ERA and eating innings when the Cubs needed it most. But the challenge here is enormous. He's on short rest, and historically, he's struggled mightily against Milwaukee's lineup. Chicago's plan is less about Boyd going deep and more about bridging the early innings before turning to a bullpen that has already been heavily worked in the wildcard round. Offensively, the Cubs live and die by the long ball, ranking among the league leaders in home runs. Milwaukee takes the opposite approach, leaning on contact hitting, patience, and aggressive base running to pressure defenses. In a Game 1 environment with Peralta dealing, Boyd limited, and bullpens playing a central role, those styles are likely to cancel each other out. Runs will be hard to come by, and today's AI pick is under 7.5. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 2, Yankees versus Blue Jays.
The American League Division Series opens at Rogers Center with a historic twist. For the first time ever, the Yankees and Blue Jays collide in October. Both clubs finished 94-68, but Toronto's head-to-head edge crowned them division champions and delivered home field advantage. Rogers Center has been a fortress, where the Blue Jays went 6-1 against New York during the regular season. That backdrop, paired with postseason intensity, sets the stage for a Game 1 showdown loaded with urgency. Toronto hands the ball to Kevin Gausman, their veteran ace. Across 192 innings in 2025, he struck out 189 batters while holding opponents to a 3.59 ERA and a whip barely above 1. Against these Yankees, he was even better. 4 starts, only 2 home runs allowed, both solo shots, while frustrating Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton with his splitter and slider. Gausman's ability to control damage and suppress power makes him the most important figure in this opener. New York counters with Luis Gil, a young arm making a comeback after missing much of the season. In 11 starts, he impressed, going 4-1 with a 3.32 ERA, but this assignment is unlike any he has faced. Game 1 on the road, in one of baseball's loudest parks, against a rested and balanced lineup. Gil has the fastball to challenge hitters, yet the margin for error is slim. The Yankees live on the long ball, hitting 274 home runs to lead all of baseball. Aaron Judge's MVP-level season was backed by Cody Bellinger, Trent Grisham, and Jazz Chisholm Jr., giving New York relentless power threats. But Toronto thrives in a different way, stringing together rallies with contact hitting and supported by elite defense. Even without Bo Bichette, they can manufacture runs and protect every lead. With Gausman rested and Toronto's home dominance in play, the edge points clearly north of the border. And today's AI pick is Blue Jays moneyline. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 3, Dodgers versus Phillies.
The National League Division Series continues with the heavyweight clash that fans have been waiting years to see, the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Philadelphia Phillies. These two teams have been circling each other for multiple seasons, each stockpiling stars, each carrying the burden of unfinished October business. Now they meet at Citizens Bank Park, where the Phillies hold one of the best home records in baseball. The atmosphere is going to be electric, with Philadelphia's faithful looking to turn this opener into a statement. On the mound for Los Angeles is Shohei Ohtani, the two-way superstar whose presence alone makes this game must-watch. As a pitcher in 2025, Ohtani has looked sharp when healthy, delivering a 2.87 ERA with 62 strikeouts in just 47 innings. He mixes upper 90s heat with a devastating splitter that can neutralize any lineup. On top of that, he also adds the threat of power at the plate, giving the Dodgers a singular weapon that no other team can match. The question isn't talent. It's whether Ohtani can carry the weight of expectations on the road against an opponent this deep. Christopher Sanchez takes the ball for Philadelphia, and his 2025 season has been nothing short of brilliant. He went 13-5 with a 2.50 ERA and was flawless at home, going 6-0 with a sub-2.00 ERA at Citizens Bank Park. His command and poise set the tone, and his ability to silence left-handed bats will be critical against the Dodgers' star-studded lineup. Sanchez doesn't just give the Phillies innings, he gives them confidence that their home field will stay a fortress. The Phillies have the advantage of rest, a dominant home record, and a rotation perfectly lined up. The Dodgers come in tired from the wild card, forced to lean heavily on Ohtani in a hostile environment. And today's AI pick is Phillies' money line. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 4, Tigers versus Mariners.
The ALDS begins in Seattle, where the Mariners return to October as division champions, carrying one of the best home field advantages in baseball. Their reward for a 90-win season is a matchup with the resilient Detroit Tigers, who clawed their way through the wild card round. The atmosphere at T-Mobile Park is electric, with fans eager to see if this new version of the Mariners can make the leap from contender to true powerhouse. On the mound, Seattle sends George Kirby, a control artist who thrives at home. Kirby went 10-8 with a 4.21 ERA in 2025, but his splits tell the real story. A sharp 2.91 ERA at T-Mobile Park. He lives on first-pitch strikes and an aggressive tempo, forcing hitters into his game plan. In October, that composure matters, yet his contact profile with a 43% hard hit rate means that when he misses, the ball gets driven with authority. Against Detroit's middle order, one mistake can swing the night. Detroit counters with rookie Troy Melton, making his first career postseason start in one of the league's most hostile environments. Melton flashed electric stuff after his July call-up, running his fastball into the upper 90s while posting a 2.76 ERA across limited action. But rookies under October lights are unpredictable. The Tigers don't expect him to dominate. They just hope he can survive 2 trips through a lineup headlined by Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, and Eugenio Suarez before handing off to a bullpen that has already been stretched in Cleveland. Offensively, the Mariners bring thunder. Raleigh's historic 60-homer season sets the tone, with Rodriguez's 5-tool presence and Suarez's pull power anchoring the lineup. Detroit answers with Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson, who combine for 67 home runs and remain capable of game-breaking swings. Factor in bullpen fatigue, ballparks that don't always suppress power, and 2 lineups that thrive on driving the ball, and this opener has the recipe for crooked innings. And today's AI pick is over 7. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Lilith for the recap.
The division series has begun, and the Pale Hand Ledger has 4 edges written into October's fire. The first comes from Milwaukee, where the Cubs and Brewers clashed in their postseason debut. That battle belonged not to bats, but to arms, and our AI pick was under 7.5. From there, the stage shifted north of the border, where the Yankees and Blue Jays opened their series. The numbers, the rest, and the fortress of Rogers Center aligned. Our AI pick was Blue Jays' money line. Game 3 carried us to Philadelphia, where the Dodgers and Phillies met in the showdown that had been years in the making. Power versus power, pressure against pressure, and our AI saw the edge. The pick was Phillies' money line. And finally, the Pacific Northwest lit up with the Tigers and Mariners under the lights at T-Mobile Park. A rookie against a precision arm, 2 bullpens stretched and hungry, and a ballpark waiting for a crooked inning. Our AI pick was over 7. En esta serie divisional, nuestras selecciones de IA fueron claras. Cachorros versus Cerveceros, menos de 7.5. Yankees versus Azulejos, línea de dinero para Toronto. Dodgers versus Phillies, línea de dinero para Filadelfia. Y Tigres versus Marineros, más de 7 carreras. Like and subscribe. Will we cash or will we burn? Wenn der Wind dreht, verliert auch der stärkste Baum seine Richtung. When the wind shifts, even the strongest tree loses its bearing.